if you had a camera watching a morbidly obese person, this is what you are likely to see. Of course, there's exceptions, but this is what you would be likely to see. Number one, you would notice this individual sits a lot. They live what I call a chair to chair to chair lifestyle. They wake up from laying down in a bed, and then they end up in a chair, and then they take and end up in another chair, and then they end up in another chair, and then they end up in another chair, essentially dancing from chair to chair to chair until they find themselves back in their bed at the end of the day. Hey, I used to do that too. The next thing you would notice from a person that is morbidly obese, more than likely, is grazing. Regular grazing, regularly adding little bits of food in their mouth. You'll notice whenever there's an opportunity to have a tasty bite of food, even if they're not hungry, even if it's not a mealtime, even if they just ate like 2 hours ago, they're going to just drop that tasty bite of food in their mouth. Now, you'll notice this person doesn't do it with all food, probably. They just do it with the foods they like. And the other thing you'll notice with this individual is they probably don't exercise any, if ever. Very, very little, if any, exercise at all. You will probably notice with the morbidly obese person if you had a camera watching them for an entire month just to observe their life. Now, remember, we just have a camera. We don't know what this person's thinking. We don't know the emotions this person's feeling for sure. We can look at them and try to guess. But here's something we might notice with that. That person, like, I don't always know what a person's thinking. You don't either. But I can certainly spot when a person, like, you look stressed. You look stressed out. You can kind of tell a stressed out person. You may not know why they're stressed, but you know they are stressed. A morbidly obese person, often, you know what they're going to do when they're stressed? Eat. Oh, I'm going to eat my feels, I used to say. I used to joke. I'm a stress eater. Oh, it's been a hard day. I need a snack to make this feel better. I mean, I would solve my problems with food. Well, I would try to solve my problems with food. Food never solved a single damn problem other than making me feel better. Food was wonderfully effective at that, but it didn't actually solve the problem. It just was like aspirin for a headache, so to speak. The other thing you might notice with a morbidly obese person, if you had a camera watching them for a year, is you would notice they eat like shit, probably. When I say eat like shit, like very little protein, maybe you get a lot, but certainly not enough. Way too many carbs. And a lot of ultra-processed foods. So a morbidly obese person often eats a large amount of ultra-processed foods. I'm not going to sit here and vilify ultra-processed foods. I'm just going to say if you were to watch this person eat, you'll notice a lot of that in their life. Not helpful. The other thing you will tend to notice from a person that is morbidly obese is they don't really want to have any awareness drawn to their size. If you had a camera watching this person, you might observe that anytime a camera is pointed at them, all of a sudden, many morbidly obese people will clam up and hide and get away. Now you're like, well, Chris, why are we talking about that? Aren't we going to talk about weight loss? Well, yeah, but here's the thing. This points to the person's internal relationship with themselves. Oh, no, don't let anybody see me. No, you can't let me see me because I don't want to see me. But of course, we don't say, don't let me see me. We say, oh, I don't want anybody to see this picture. No, the only person that a morbidly obese person typically doesn't want to have see it for realsies is yourself. You might, sure. You might not want other people to see it. That's true. But the one you really don't want to have see it if you're the morbidly obese person is yourself. You don't want to see it. You know how I know that? Because I'm a photographer. I've taken a lot of pictures of big people. And you know what I noticed? They're like, oh, gosh, they're the ones that didn't want to see it. The rest of us are like, we know what you look like. You ain't fooling us. We know what you look like from behind. I can see how big your ass is. Like, you ain't hiding it from me. I did not hide from a single person how big my ass was. Everybody could see how big my belly was. Despite my efforts to hide it with a vest and suspenders underneath it holding my britches up, that vest was full of nothing. I just looked bigger with a vest. The morbidly obese person wants to shield themselves, often from what they've done, from how far they've let themselves go. That's what I did. I did not at all want to be aware of how far I'd let myself go. And I definitely did not want to be aware of how I was contributing to it. Oh no, it's not my fault. It's this. I would want to blame literally anything and everything but me. But let's be honest. Did these other things play a role? Yes. However, who is actually the one that was going to have to fix all this? Well, me. I was the one that's going to have to fix all this. Who's going to have to fix your weight problem? You're going to have to be the one that fixes your weight problem. Nobody else can fix it for you, just you. If you had a camera following me, you would notice how I tend to interact in front of mirrors. You'll notice a lot of people that lose all the weight and get to the dream body, the thin, healthy, in-shape body, and then they look at themselves in the mirror. You notice this individual feels pride. They feel happy. They love what they're seeing back to themselves. You might think that's a silly thing, but you've got to love yourself. Now, some people want to wait to love themselves until they've lost all the weight. Or lost a sufficient amount that I feel that I have suffered enough and I've paid my dues. Now it's time to love myself because I have a body worthy of love. You got it backwards. You're supposed to love yourself now. Love your body now. Well, I don't love this body, Chris. It's 350 damn pounds. Why would I love this body? I literally hate living in this body. I get that. But you can change that. Like, that's fixable. Like, I could love my house, but not like the kitchen that's in it, right? And I might want to remodel that kitchen and rip it out and make changes, but I still love my house.